Alright, we're doing a Minecraft stream today. I may have to turn down the audio or play, what is it, untrademarked or license free, that's what I was looking for. Music, but I feel like this will be a fun thing to do. I'm gonna have to turn down the audio more though. But yeah, let me just make sure everything's going. Yeah, it looks good. My laptop's going crazy. It's gonna keep going crazy, but I'm not gonna do hardcore. It's too difficult. I'm not good at video games, so you guys are gonna get to see how bad I am at this game, and hopefully it's entertaining. If it's not, we could just go to the other type of stream. But I feel like this will be a nice, fun way to just like hang out and talk. Because I feel like, I don't know, sometimes we get like really into the weeds of things about certain topics, and it's less open-ended, less interactive, and me just ranting. So maybe this will be a nice change of pace. At the very least, I'll have fun. So that's all you can ask for, right? All right. I forget the controls on this too, so bear with me. What's around the spawn? Anything good? I mean, I'm guessing there's gonna be a cave nearby, but hopefully we get something cool. Should I become a Minecraft YouTuber? Oh wait, they have very bad reputation. No, I shouldn't even make that joke. Dude, I think I don't know what's worse, Roblox or Minecraft in terms of, the creepy kind of stuff. The weird thing about Roblox is they don't do any sort of like safety measures for a known issue, and there's the whole story right now that I don't know why. I don't know who in their like corporate legal counsel was like, it's a good idea for us to make this move. So I mean, your entire market's reliant on parents feeling like, oh, they can play this game, they can be distracted. It's not something dangerous. Little do they know it's quite the opposite. Because I hear everyone complain about like how like Call of Duty doesn't have like the game chat anymore. That's literally purely because there's weirdos online. Oh, we got some sugar cane already. All right, I gotta find some coal. Gotta find some sheep. Ooh, a nice little cave here. I may or may not fall into this. Don't judge me when I do. Got some coal down there. Okay. I don't know if you can mine. Okay, yeah, you can. fun of me struggling. No, it's all going away. Okay. Like I said, I'm terrible at this game, so don't judge me. I think I'm like okay at building, but when it comes to actual gameplay, no. It's too difficult for me to get over there. Ooh, even some iron. I don't feel like going back up yet. And make a stone pickaxe. Just one. That sucks. Alright. I can't get back up. This is bad. I've been playing on my PS4, so I forget the controls for this, so I'm gonna be rusty. I can feel people judging me right now. Oh my. Okay. I feel like this will be a good area to build something. Need to find one more sheet. There we go. And make a nice little starter shack. It's starting to get dark. I'm getting scared. Um, what was I building? Bro, why are you running into me? What is this motherfucker doing? I don't know if this is just me, but once I build a house, I never go in it. And then I just start building another one. And maybe a crafting table. And I'll make a small chest. I don't put anything in it right now, but what else do I want? I want iron sword, yeah, probably. Stone. Alright. Oh no, it's becoming dark. We got a little turtle here. Do turtles give you anything? I've never killed one, even by accident. I would feel so bad. What does this music change? Oh no. I told you guys I wasn't good at this. I need more coal. I need to hurry up before the mobs start showing up. Oh my god, so much water. I literally can't see anything. Okay. How do I... The music's so loud right now. Oh, what is that? Oh no. I heard a skeleton. I'm scared. I don't even have a shield yet. Alright, that's it. We're going mining. He's not getting to me now. Oh, come on. Can I get out this way? No, it doesn't look like I can. Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, he never found me. Oh. Need some more iron so I can get a shield. Otherwise, I'm done for. That's the only way I can kill skeletons with a shield. And did I flood all of this cave down here? No, I. Oh no. Oh no. I can't see anything. Okay. If we die, we die. Oh no, skip. Zombie already. What's up, Sahida? How's everything? Is this a good time to stream for you? Or is it still too late? I'm scared. Oh no, I hear him. This is the only game I can play now. Well, I don't know. Me and my friend, we like playing like I don't know if I can say this, like ROM hacks and stuff like that. Those are always fun, but ooh, a lot of coal down here. Nice. Not really, but it works. Are you talking about the timing? I feel like like this kind of stream though, the benefit of this is that I feel like we can just talk about whatever. Because if I'm reacting to a video, it's gonna be like purely based off that, so we can like I don't know, go into discussions about other things. Oh no, what did I get hit by? Really need to find iron. I have videos pulled up too in case if I get bored of this, or I just rage quit. There's a good chance I rage quit at some point. If I fall or do something stupid like that, there's a very high likelihood I call it quits. Oh, there we go, iron. I guess I can make a shield now. I just have to smelt it. This was actually really easy to set up. I don't know why I didn't do this earlier. It was literally just I had to click like an extra button. I thought it was gonna be very complicated. I don't know how to do all like the fancy like pop-ups and like subscriptions and stuff though. But I feel like that's always I've been like kicking the can down the road about that stuff for a while. Because I don't know. Like I feel like a certain part of me wants to like up the I didn't even say it like production value, like this isn't like a fancy thing, but some parts of me is like, yeah, why don't I like do a little bit so it like because I feel like it's rough around the edges. I like that a little bit, but there's also a level of like, I don't know, I don't want people to get bored. I'm boring enough, right? How am I gonna get across here? Should I just jump? Oh no. Oh no. That was really dumb. Oh no, I can't see anything. Okay. How do I get up here? Okay. Oh, wow, this is difficult. Like the ones where I was outside. Yeah, the ones where I'm outside, I can't really. I guess I could pull out my laptop and extension cords and stuff. I just don't think I'd be able to do it that frequently because of the weather. Because I don't have anything that can like stop my laptop from like blowing up. Because if it starts raining or something. And most of the time it's too hot outside because I don't have any shade. But I feel like as this keeps growing and growing, there'll be points where I can like invest in it and start to make it much better. Because I used to film a lot of videos outside actually, and that was always fun until my camera would overheat, which is so much easier, especially if I'm talking about books where like my entire bookshelf is in front of me. I could just literally pull it out, the book, and then start filming the video, and then just put it back. So it's just like it's so much easier to do it that way. Yeah, you been reading anything good recently? I feel like I've been reading extra slow just because I don't know if I would call it like I'm burnt out, but I've just been like exhausted. My head's just not like I don't know if anyone like else deals with migraines. I guess people do. I don't know how frequently they get them though, but every so often there'll be like a period where I get migraines like every day. And I'm kind of on the tail end of that. Lots of YouTubers on that side. You know, and then definitely at some point I want to change up the video format where the books steal like an artist. What's that about? Sounds interesting. I have like I haven't bought a book in a while, and it's purely because I've like been forcing myself to read the stuff I already have. Because I have this bad problem of if I keep buying books, I'm never gonna read the ones that I said I was gonna read. So hopefully that sticks up for the next few months, and then I can get to the stuff I said I was gonna get to. But for the time being, I have lots of stuff I can read that I don't need to go out and get more stuff. It's basically for creative people, a guide to making good art, music, etc. Very short. I have a book like that. Um, here, it's right here. There's something you can get it for a few dollars on Amazon. It's Create Dangerously by Camus. I think it's 54 pages, but it's like the pages are only this big, so it can't really be all that much. I've just been procrastinating reading it. It's definitely gonna be interesting though, because I think Camus has a pretty good take on art. Where I don't know if you read Camus' Rebellion, or no, it's The Rebel. Is what it's called, the book. And Camus basically his thesis is that all rebellions are futile, and all rebellions kind of recreate the thing that they purported to be against. But the one true rebellion is through art, because art is a vehement rebellion of the evil and vicious world that we live in, the world that can have such harmful things, and it's really the only way to leave a impact. Let me look at it up quickly. The Rebel or Create Dangerously. I love Camus. Everything I've read by him has just been extremely. I mean, I don't always agree with him. I think some of the things he says are kind of. Can you see it? Create Dangerously. It's almost like a pamphlet. It's not even really a book. Finally, my laptop's cooling down. That's the other thing. I want to get a desktop at some point and monitors so that I can have everything pulled up at once. Because I have to do like split screen. It's so frustrating. I feel like because I was against using monitors, it's like, why do you need that until you use them and you're like, it's so beneficial when you get used to it. So you have everything open at once. Sounds more about like making a political statement with art. Maybe in certain senses. I don't think Camus is super hung up on politics though. Maybe he is. I mean, the myth of Sisyphus is kind of um far beyond the realm of politics. I don't know. I think politics, when you start getting involved with it, it's just like it's always just you can have all these ideologies, but that doesn't even guarantee that it's carried out. Like what we have on paper in America, it looks really good, but it's not really carried out to the best of its abilities. The people's wills aren't represented. You have people spending hundreds of millions of dollars to get elected to make 200 grand, and then they have net worths of hundreds of millions. Like, where did you get that? So I don't really think like I don't know. I just don't think politics is something even worth the time to philosophically debate. I mean, there's monarchies with like more fairness throughout history. Like you look at Athens. Athens is a pretty good example. And again, this is just what we know, so who's to say that this is even correct? But was it Heracles, I think it was? There was a king of Athens who was king for like 60 years. I may say the wrong name because I don't really remember, but basically he was more so just somebody that could have people see the full picture, have people see the full scope of things. I think it's always much easier to have a discussion with somebody when you can hear them out, even if you don't agree with them. It's almost like it's intentional nowadays that the political discussion is so narrow on a few issues that are so dividing, and it really destroys the rest of the conversation. Like, it's not really you have like poor people arguing against poor people, and then they're like, "Well, this rich guy is gonna save me." It's like, all right, man. Like, I think you're missing the real point here. But I don't know. The most eye-opening thing I read was probably Chomsky's Manufacturing Consent, which basically confirmed all my suspicion that you have all these people that are basically spinning narratives so that it can benefit certain interests and will not speak the truth about other issues that don't benefit them. And I mean, think about it like a HR rep. Like HR rep will smile as they fire you and they try to make it seem all nice, but really what they're doing is they're taking away your livelihood. And it's like, could you ever even be nice about that? Could you ever be respectful about that? Like, I don't really see that as like obviously you have to have the tough conversation, but you can't really dress it up, but people try. Look at Bhutan. Everyone looks happy there, I think. And again, I mean, that's just what we see as well. Like, I'm sure there's never been a government that completely satisfied every single individual in its society. So it's like, this is something Thomas Sowell says, and then this is something I keep coming back to. There's no such thing as solutions, there's only trade-offs. So it's like you might have a free society, but at what cost? Like, I mean, you look at, was it Bloomberg and, who was the mayor during 9/11? What's his name again? Why is it blanking my mind? Basically, crime went down a lot in New York City, but it's because they were arresting absolutely everybody, and it's like there's all these horror stories of like young kids that look suspicious, and they were stopped hundreds and hundreds of times because they're wearing a hoodie. Like, is that is that really something you want to be part of? Is that really something that you want to justify? Because it's like if you want to get rid of crime, you can. You can lock up anybody that does anything, but yeah, I'll look at the book Create Dangerously. It seems interesting, mostly about removing the fear from art. Yeah, I'm glad that's what Camus' take was, because sometimes I read stuff by people I like authors, and I'm like disappointed by the way they took it. Like I read, I'm not really a fan of Freud, but I read the Interpretations of Dreams, and the entire time I'm waiting for Freud to like tie the dots together and understand what he's trying to say. And I feel like he always misses the more interesting points about what he's talking about, because he's trying to treat psychology like a science, which it is, but he's treating it like a traditional science where you can have a set answer where there's always a blanket prescription. And this is really the main difference between Jung and Freud. Well, not really the main difference, but this is to me the biggest one is that basically Jung was willing to evaluate the individual for the individual, where Freud was more focused on the blanket prescription and expanding his authority in the field of psychology. Which, again, without Freud, we don't get Jung, so you have to at least credit him for that. Like if he didn't make the discoveries himself, he opened it up so that other people could have it. But there's other things about his legacy that are more nefarious and more despicable. But Dubai may be strict in law, but very safe. Yeah. But Dubai has other issues. There's some other concerns that we don't really need to get into right now. There's like the passport stuff and all the shady practices when it comes to that. But I mean, it's like everything. I mean, people talk about immigration, but they don't talk about like the fact that it's not going to get solved because it's cheap labor for people that lobby for cheap labor. You know what I mean? Like it's the same reason why manufacturing disappeared in the United States. It's because American citizens aren't going to work for less than a wage that they can live off of. And instead of, raising prices, they just ship it out to another country where people haven't realized they're getting taken advantage of. Yeah, that video is honestly, that video is one of the most inspiring videos that I've seen. Like just the like to see a man that's so intellectually and um like he's credentialed in that field for him to say something like that, it really speaks volumes. Because I feel like I don't know, there's this weird idea that if you're an intellectual, you don't believe in a god or you're material atheist. I don't know, it's quite frustrating. Because to me, I just see atheism as the same thing as most Christians. I mean, atheists fight more for atheism than most Christians fight for the Bible. Like they're willing to argue, they're willing to do all that stuff. I want to collab and play. Dude, I don't know how to do that. Do I have to leave the game? You're just gonna come kill me, I know it. Do I have to turn on multiplayer? What do I have to do? Honestly, that'd be fun. Should we start a server or like a realm? Atheists talk more about God than most believers. Yeah. Well, I feel like they jump through more hoops too. Because it like, okay, let me explain. I'm gonna not explain it all the way. I'm gonna have to take some shortcuts. But like, the Big Bang Theory literally is the closest thing to a creation myth I could come up with. You know what I mean? Like we all came from something that's the size of the top of a pin, all matter and all mass expanded out from that. Like if that doesn't seem like something that could come out of Genesis or a similar scripture, I don't know what is. To me, it's all just more the same. Oh my God. Because like one of the biggest examples, or at least one of the biggest examples I've seen, is Neil deGrasse Tyson. That guy, the way he talks about science, he talks about it like it's this infallible monolith that can't ever be competed with and will always come to the right answer. But this is really something that Robert Anton Wilson spoke about. I don't know if this is his idea or his study, but science really takes 2 generations to correct itself because while you have these new ideas, there's always the people who have staked their reputation on the old ones that are saying, no, this is incorrect. No, we need to do it this way. And they're resistant to new ideas. And because of this, I feel like a lot of ideas are, kind of stuck in the past. And I don't have any wood. Because these people are unwilling to like open themselves up to it, they kind of gatekeep and they kind of keep all these discoveries. Like the greatest example of this is the doctors back in the day used to say that smoking is good for you and smoking cigarettes isn't harmful, which I mean, regardless if you do it or not, I don't think anybody that smokes cigarettes says that it's fine. Like obviously it's a detriment to your health. Like it's the same thing as drinking. Like I don't think any alcoholic would say that drinking is the best thing they could do, but I mean, is driving safe? It's not safe. We all take risks in life, and it's like if you assume those risks, it's fine. I was in a class one time, and my professor was basically trying to. He was like, "Why do we have laws? Why can't I smoke in this room right now?" And nobody could come up with the answer. The people in this room haven't assumed the risk of smoking cigarettes. I was dumbfounded. It's like you'd think all of these people would figure that out. I've heard of the double slit experiment. Yeah, wasn't that what confirmed Einstein's theory that light behaves like a wave and a particle? I mean, quantum physics is really like what's most fascinating about quantum physics is it really proves a lot of like the Vedic texts and a lot of the more esoteric ideas that have kind of always been around. In a certain way, it kind of like the Hermetic tradition and alchemy and that kind of stuff. It kind of like it almost shows you that there was some scientific basis throughout this ideology. Let's build a free server on Eternos and play together. Build a new world. I don't know how to do any of that stuff, dude. I'm sorry. I don't know what any of that means. I'm not good at video games. I just play Minecraft. Like I've never played on a server or anything. My girlfriend, she's like, yeah, I used to be in all these like. She told me she used to play in all these servers and she would like play the Hunger Games and stuff. I don't know anything about that. I never played this as a kid. What's the meditative music playing in the background? It's the Minecraft music. It's the game music. It's so peaceful. But then sometimes it just gets really loud out of nowhere. I checked back here, right? Yeah, I think I got everything in this cave. I cannot get out of this for my life of me. It's pretty loud. I turned it way down. I can't tell, like, I really can't tell my output volume though, because I don't know if it mixes it the same way it would sound. I don't know. I don't know how to explain what I just was trying to say. I'm not good with any of this kind of. When it comes to hardware, I don't really understand computers. I understand the software, but the hardware, I just hope and pray that if I reset it, it will work. So the particles change the way they behave when you observe them. Yeah, it's like Schrodinger's cat. I mean, Schrodinger's cat has like very interesting implications on the consciousness. Schrodinger was not a good guy. It's a very, very kind of disgusting things that he did. But um, basically, if you think about it this way, so this is really Bertrand Russell's whole philosophy summated is that what you observe, the way you observe things, is how it appears, and your world is purely reflected off the data you have. And what makes this really interesting is like, have you ever talked to someone and you're like, how can they believe these crazy things? And it's because everything they've experienced makes them see it that way. And if you want to believe something different, then you need to see things from a different perspective. And this is really what the beauty is of reading and learning and conversing with people with different opinions, is that you start to think like a different person, you start to behave like a different person. And the most interesting transformation from this is that like when you start to think like a different person, it eventually makes you a different person. Because everything's like down the stream of thought. So whatever you start to think about yourself, whatever you start to think about others is how it will be shaped. Oh no, there's a wizard. I'm running away. I they kill me every time. What did I major in? In undergrad, I majored in industrial engineering. So kind of like a jack of all trades and master of none. But I like I'm not sure if you're familiar. The curriculum was like basically you learned every kind of engineering and a lot of the basics and then even some more advanced parts of the different curriculums so that you could see things with a bird's eye view and kind of improve upon them. Because it's really the focus of industrial engineering is really supply chain management and um, maximizing the efficiency of plants and businesses alike. So a lot of people that do industrial engineering, they go into consulting, which is really the bane of all problems in America. The consulting fields and the the venture capitalists. What is attacking me? Okay. Yeah, it was. I don't know. I also went to law school too, so that's. I'd say I'm more of an expert in law than I am in engineering. But I think if you can understand law and understand different cases and how they interact with each other, it develops like a skill that you can kind of see through a lot of the bullshit and kind of boil down to the main important points. I mean, this is really why all politicians are lawyers, is because it's a certain style of thinking that you can balance what's right, what you have to do, and the best matter of approach and how to balance it with human beings as well. Consulting pays well. Yeah, consulting pays well, but it's not really. Thing about consulting is a lot of consulting is like you're not like you're not really helping, you're just coming in and being like, well, you can do this and here's my bill. So like it's I mean, there's lots of jokes about it. Obviously there's a point to consulting, but a lot of consulting, all they do is they're like, let's ship this part out to a third world country so we can afford to pay less so that your profit margins can stay high. And it's like it's really I don't necessarily agree with like the utilitarian aspects of consulting. I think there has to be deeper implications, and I think a lot of consulting is really what's wrong with the American economy and really what's wrong with the world economy is that like think if you're consulting, you have to, in some way, make the numbers look better. So if you're making the numbers look better, you're going to have to neglect the human element of things. All right, I'm going to get some wood so that I can. Why don't I have a crafting table out here? Yeah, I gotta get some wood so that I can make fences, get animals, start a little petting zoo. If you could tell anyone to read just one book to improve their life, what would it be? I think it depends on the person because I think certain people are going to respond differently to different books. To me personally, the book that changed my life the most is The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. Now, that's more of a, I think Neville would consider himself a Christian mystic, so that's really more up my alley. But if you're not really that deep into these metaphysical ideas, you're not that, um, for lack of a better word, spiritual as a person or inclined to be spiritual, I think psycho-cybernetics would be the best answer. So I think one of those two books is probably the best. But again, it depends. And there's also the argument that Jung also really changed my life. You thought I would say psycho-cybernetics. Yeah, I mean, I think if people just stopped talking to themselves so negatively and people started appreciating the things that they have, I think a lot of the issues people deal with will greatly be reduced. And it all comes from your thoughts, it all comes from your ideas and your conception of yourself in relation to others. And, you know, if you don't believe you can do something, you can't do it. If you believe you can do something, you can do it. It simply comes down to that. The difference between people that actually achieve it is that they believe they could before they could. Whereas the people that had a dream and couldn't accomplish it, they might have thought about it all day, but they never believed they were possible. They never thought it was possible that they could do it. And that's really the main difference, and that's really what, if I was going to give someone blanket advice, I would tell them. Because you have these books like How to Win Friends and Influence People is a great book. But I don't think it's a book that's necessary for you to read. I think it's beneficial. It's definitely, the better you can communicate, the better you can explain your idea without upsetting the other person. Because, it's not so much who has the best ideas, it's who can say it the best. Like Nietzsche has some of the most inspiring ideas, but a lot of people just misinterpret it because they don't understand what he's trying to say. And perhaps I wouldn't unless I mean, really, I started understanding Nietzsche when I started understanding that him and Emerson are aligned on most things. Nietzsche said himself that him and Emerson are brothers of the soul, meaning that they pretty much coexist as the same. And once I thought about it like that, I'm like, wow, like, here's Emerson, somebody that really doesn't have any controversy, really doesn't have anyone aside from people saying like he was a little out there, he was a little weird. And that's really the biggest criticism, whereas people are like justify Nietzsche and loop him in with some of the worst people in history. And it's like, it's not really what he stood for. That's not really what he was about. He would be appalled that people looped him in with these mass systems of control because that was his mortal enemy. I feel like it's better in fantasy, the dream you have in your mind. Then it reminds me of the shopkeeper from The Alchemist who never achieved his dream because of that. What do you mean? Remind me about the shopkeeper and the alchemist, because that part doesn't really that part doesn't really stand out to me that much. Was it he wanted to travel but he never did? I'm trying to think. I can't. It's not ringing a bell right now. I don't think I've read The Alchemist in like a year. But if you really want to break it down to a simple point, like everyone's delusional about their capabilities. It's just certain people are actually consistent with the delusion. Like, have you ever talked to someone and they're like, "Oh, I'm not book smart. I'm street smart," and they're the dumbest person you've ever met who literally doesn't think at all. And it's like even the stupidest people you know are justifying their intelligence to themselves. It's just certain people are more willing to believe it, and certain people are more willing to run with it. And belief really is the seed that sparks everything. Yeah, no, I've read the book. I just don't remember the ending. Or that's not the ending, that scene. The ending I think is extremely interesting, but I just don't remember that exact moment. I gotta kill a skeleton so I can get a dog. I only have one bone on me. I hate these trees. Right, to mine up. I made a video about this is really funny actually. It was it was titled something like Six Short Masterpieces, and one of the books I included was The Alchemist. And really, I was just talking about books that were simplistic, that were short, that I liked the message of. And like a million people were like, because this is still the most viewed video I've ever had. And like half the comments were like, The Alchemist is a terrible book. It's like, all right, man, it's my own list. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. One guy was like, the author was a charlatan. It's like, all right, man. Like, I don't, what did he do to you? Like, I've never been so mad about anything in my life. Maybe a good reason. I don't know. I don't really research the authors I read. I like to just read what they write. People are literary snobs. Yeah. Dude, someone was trying to tell me the other day. So I posted a short, like, probably like a year ago at this point. It was so long ago. And someone was trying to tell me about alchemy. And I'm like, I didn't even try arguing because I just knew it wasn't gonna go through. But basically, it was like, well, alchemy, because my point was that alchemy isn't really about turning lead into gold. It's an allegory. Because if you really understand these esoteric ideas, it's all allegory. It's not literal, and that's really the trap most people fall into. Like, it's it's not so much about the physical ideas. It's more so about the mental changes and stuff like that. And this is really something that Jung illustrated. And I was like, don't you think it's a little bit of both physical and metaphysical, spiritual? And the guy was like, no, actually, that's a Jungian idea. It's like, that's not just a Jungian idea. I mean, there's what is it, the Kabbalion, there's, Manly P. Hall, there's a million sources that would say otherwise, but it's just no point in, because if you read one book and tell me that's everything about the subject that people obsessed about for thousands of years, I think you're not talking about the full argument. But it's weird because like I feel like this is with everything though. Like people make their interest their personality. So it's like if I know more about a certain book than you, then I'm cool. It's all like that high school need to like be part of the clique, that high school need to be cool and part of things. So weird that people have it in adulthood, like, you know what I mean? Or what was I doing? I forgot. I was mindlessly talking while I was mining. Okay, I think we have enough wood. And I was making fences. Where's that crafting table? There it is. Dude, someone was also trying to tell me that I'll try to remember the worst, like the comments I disagree with the most. And not even that they're not making good points, it's just I just don't agree. But like someone was trying to tell me that Camus was an existentialist where he vehemently disagreed with existentialism and was an absurdism. Because existentialism is the idea that you can provide meaning through your own life, whereas Camus didn't believe there was any meaning to life. And that to me, that's a huge difference. But for whatever reason, I guess I'm wrong. And it's just like I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to be a snob here and argue over semantics, but the point remains what I was trying to say. Like he didn't even. My point was that Camus' idea of the meaning of life is that because there's no meaning, that's the meaning. Because there's nothing that inherently you have to do, that gives you the ultimate freedom to do whatever you want. And that's the greatest blessing, but it could also be the greatest curse. Didn't disagree with that argument, just disagreed that I said absurdism instead of existentialism. Like, why are you why are you gonna nitpick the tiny little points that don't matter? Just such a weird thing to do. I don't know, I don't get it sometimes. Someone was I was in the gym today. Some girl like at the front desk, she got like a pair of shoes, and I just walked by, and then later on she's like, "You ruined my day. I had to see you while I was getting this gift." I was like, "Okay, good for you." And she was like, "Why'd you have to why are you like this?" I'm like, "I didn't do anything. You realize you're doing this to yourself. Like any harm anyone does to you is purely your own volition. Because if someone bothers me, it's because I allowed them to. It's not because they did anything to me. I mean, short of physically harming me, that's really the only way you can do any damage to me. Please don't do that. But and it's the same thing with like if you're insulting someone. If you're insulting someone, it's just you projecting your own insecurities. It's you projecting the things that you don't like about yourself onto that person. Even if it's, think about the intelligent people that don't have anything except their intelligence. They're insecure about everything else, so they need to put themselves up by denigrating other people's capacity to think. And once you start seeing things like that, it one helps you because it stops you from doing something as silly as trying to bring someone else down. But it also gives you the freedom to just stop caring about what other people think because once you stop caring about what other people think, then you're free to be yourself. And that's truly like one of the biggest problems in the world today is that we have a bunch of like overgrown children that can't accept themselves and want the world to accept them instead. And it's like I really don't get that need to be liked by everyone. I genuinely think that if most people in the world talk to me, they might say I'm a little out there. They wouldn't really be like, I want to see this guy ever again. Like, it's like I don't need you to be my friend. I have enough friends. I have enough people in this world that I can, you know, look to for guidance or I can ask for help. Like, You don't need to be my friend. Just you don't need to be. You don't need to be a dick sometimes. You know what I mean? Make a popular post or video, and you're going to attract a lot of people. I people I don't know though because I don't like I say things as a matter of fact, but I really don't care if I'm wrong. You know what I mean? Like I'll be the first to admit where I'm wrong. So like I think hopefully people see through that. What's up, Banjo? How's everything, man? Dude, I haven't seen you in the past few streams. I finished The Road. I really liked it. I thought it was really good. Yeah, this is the first time I'm streaming me playing Minecraft, and I haven't done anything stupid yet. I promise you I will soon at some point. But yeah, someone was asking me to stream Minecraft for like months, and they're not even here, so I guess you missed out. I don't even remember the guy's username. I think it's Jaden or something. Yeah, I think that's who it was. So if he's here, we all gotta bully him and be like, "You made him play Minecraft, and you didn't even show up." But yeah, how's everything been? You been reading anything good? I'm about to finish. I think I have like 30 pages left of the second Dune. And then what am I gonna read next? What have I been carrying around? I've been carrying this around with me. I don't know how to say this. The Upanishads, Upanishads. This is something that Schopenhauer liked, and I'm excited to read it. I don't know. I might just go back into reading the Game of Thrones books because they're so good. I got through the first one and like nothing happened yet, but I'm enthralled. The Road is your all-time favorite book. Dude, I almost died by a creeper because you commented. Come on, man. You almost killed me. How could you? That would have been so funny if I'm just reading the chat and just get blown up. All time Halo being your favorite game series. Interesting. I see. I wasn't allowed to play like I was at the age where Halo was coming out and I was too young to play it. So by the time like I was able to play it, like because my mom is like weird with that stuff. She's like, "Oh, video games make you violent." And it's like, all right, what about all the movies? Like, I think it's like I think the other media is far worse than video games. It's like, that's a whole nother issue. But um yeah, I never really played it, and by the time I did, it was like they had released that one that was really bad and they stopped making them. So I don't know. I maybe should give that oh no, I'm running. No. Would you I meant to ask you, what do you think happened in the end of the road? You think it's purposely meant to be open-ended so we don't know? Why can't I eat this? Where's my inventory? Yeah, I always think that it's like unnecessary fear mongering because if you're really concerned about people being violent, like, you know, why do we have like war oh my like war propaganda movies like Top Gun and stuff, you know what I mean? Like and again, I don't really care what people watch. I'm not like here to censor, but it's like there's better arguments to have. Like there's entire channels dedicated to military history. Like do you think that doesn't do the same thing? Just a weird hill to die on. But it you know what it probably is? Because this is what happened. Was it H.G. Wells with the War of the Worlds? Um, where he was talking about aliens coming down and there was like this mass hysteria. What that really was a a newspaper was getting angry because people were listening to radio instead of reading the news, and it kind of hurt their medium. So instead of telling the truth that like no one bought it and it was like this gimmicky thing and a story, they like really stoked up this false narrative that people were outraged and scared and the cops were being called. None of it was true. And all these other newspapers ran with it and it just became matter of fact. I haven't read it myself. It's kind of terse. What does that mean? When it comes to the end of the road, I don't see it as open-ended. I reread the final page a couple times because it doesn't talk about any of the characters. Well, the last part is, have you read the essay by Emerson? It's titled Circles. I think that's really what Cormac McCarthy was getting at, because basically, to summarize the essay, if you haven't read it, is it's the idea that you're part of this grand journey, this grand um, thing that we all participate in, kind of like Spinoza's ethics, where like there's this big cycle of life and everything's an expression of everything else, and you were once something, now you'll be something else, and now it's just your time. To me, that's what the road kind of feels like, because it's really, I mean, it's a story about life stripped down to the bare bones. So obviously it's gonna play on that theme. But it ended in that very poetic way. But I was talking more so about, was the boy safe, or was he tricked by the guy? You know what I mean? Talks about Advaita, Vedanta, or that everything is one. Okay. Yeah, I could definitely see that in Schopenhauer's work. That definitely seems pretty clear that that would be his opinion. That's interesting. I like that idea, the idea of a monad. Um, that everything is part of everything else. Because I mean, physically, if you break it down to small enough building blocks, everything is everything else. We're all built of the same atoms. We all came from more or less the same space debris or whatever your creation myth is. We were all created the same. I mean, regardless if you're an atheist or a theist, it's the same. We all sprung out of the same thing. I don't even think it's a matter of if you agree with that. I think it's what degree you agree with it. Whether you take it metaphysically or you take it purely physical. Damn it, I didn't do that. Sheep's like wheat, right? I think they do. We'll see. Yeah, they do. I promise you, this will start to look better soon. Once I commit to building a better house. It's weird to me, like how people think that the movie The Matrix is like a very deep movie. It it really just like is the story of Christ redone, and you know, isn't that like every great story is kind of that? I don't see the road as entirely open-ended. I think it wraps up the story nicely. No, yeah, I agree with that. But what do you think? I don't even know how to say this. Do you think the boy made it out alive, or do you think that family got him? We'll say. I have to self-censor. It's so frustrating that I can't talk about like I have to like dress up the language sometimes. Like there's just certain things you can't say. It all comes down to bullshit venture capitalism, bullshit advertising dollars and stuff like that. Like you don't even really need internet censorship if people self-censor themselves. Which I think there's like a fine line between self-censorship and getting your point across in a manner that isn't inflammatory and people can understand without hurting their sensibilities. Because if you have a lot to say, but it it is said in a very vigorous way, then a lot of people are going to be closed off to it. So it's all about, can you say something confronting? Can you say something that people don't want to see for themselves, but you say it in a way that is getting past their defenses, is getting past their want to not see things for how they are. I don't know if that makes any sense. That's something I've really had to like focus on because I don't think I say anything that's objectively like wrong. Well, obviously I say things that are wrong all the time, but I don't think I say anything that's offensive. I think it's the way I say it most of the time. Like if I really dress down a lot of my language, it could be much more approachable. But then you have like the Nietzsche or Nietzsche. I need to keep saying it correctly. Some guy corrected me. He like yelled at me. He was like, "You got to say it the right way." And I've been trying to say it right since then because I hate saying the word wrong. The thing with Nietzsche is that his words are so fiery that if you don't allow them to insult you, it's very transformative. But there's a lot of people in this world that don't want to get up with like get on board with this harsh reality, so they'd rather be angry and shun these ideas. And I think it's a fine line between saying something with courage, saying something with purpose behind it, and dressing it up so that it's not objectable. Gonna be making a video about it soon. The boy was alive, and the family was not cannibals, in my opinion. Okay, yeah, yeah, I definitely see. I lean towards that, but I don't know if that's just me being optimistic. I don't know if that's just me wanting a good story. And I think that's really what makes the book most interesting. Because even if the family's not cannibals, does that mean he's gonna be okay? Does that mean that he's gonna be safe? Does that mean he's gonna get south to this like? I mean, obviously, like going south is like this mythic idea that there's safety somewhere. But to me, I don't think there would be. Okay, yeah, I like that take. I think that pretty much sums up what I was feeling myself. All right, I'm gonna find a cave. Do you guys want me to keep doing this, or do you want me to go to videos instead? Because I'm fine with whatever. I'll play Minecraft all night if I have to. How long have I been streaming for? An hour and 10 minutes already? No way. I feel like I've been streaming for 20 minutes. I guess I've been feeling like the dead air with just me playing, this pisses me off because I've been playing Minecraft like, I wouldn't say obsessively for the past few weeks, but like I definitely have played a lot. Like I have already exhausted all the caves in this world that I started on my PS4. Ooh, there's something over here. My inventory full. No, it's fine. Banjo, have you ever read Emerson by any chance? Because I feel like if you haven't, you would like him. It reminds me in some ways of Cormac McCarthy. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if that's. I feel like there's definitely an inspiration there because I mean, most of American literature is inspired by Emerson and Walden and stuff like that. Where's this cave? I completely miss it. Find the fire's hope for something greater to love. Oh no. Is that an author of a book? Ralph Waldo Emerson? So Ralph Waldo Emerson is a, I guess you would consider him a philosopher. I don't know what you would consider him because he kind of bends the genres. But so Henry David Thoreau, who wrote the book Walden, went on land that was given to him by Ralph Waldo Emerson. So he was basically the guy that pushed Thoreau to write it, and the guy that leased him the land so that he could build the cabin and live in it and live off the land. So in a lot of ways, he was his inspiration for it. I don't know if Walden Pond was named after Emerson, and I got into an argument with someone online about that as well, which is like, does it really even matter? Because like, I mean, you could say the pond isn't named after him, but Emerson did inspire all the philosophy behind that. But I think those are like two of the most interesting people in terms of American writers. Because those are really the only American philosophers I know. The guy who wrote Self-Reliance, yes, yes. That's what I'm talking about. But the reason I bring that up is because the ending to me is literally just Cormac McCarthy read the essay titled Circles and was like, yeah, this is a perfect way to end it. Not like actually, but like there's probably some unconscious influence, or maybe they just came to the same conclusion. But I think it's an interesting parallel. I don't know, when I read things, I like to tie them to different ideas because then I think it kind of allows me to parse through what is interesting about different authors, parse through what's valuable about different authors, and kind of get to the root of the answers I'm trying to seek. Try to get to you know, the things that are universal to the human experience. There's a book by Aldous Huxley called The Perennial Philosophy, which does that extremely well. It's basically Huxley. I don't know how much setup I'm gonna have to do for this, but basically he said later on in his life he wanted to have a religious experience, and he was not really a religious person. I think it was his great uncle or his uncle coined the term agnostic, and that's what Huxley claimed himself to be as well. But basically, Huxley later on to his life was like, I want a religious experience, so he started taking mescaline, which if you don't know what mescaline is, it's the synthetic form of um not ayahuasca, it's peyote, which if you don't know what peyote is, it's like a herb that the Native Americans were taking for centuries, if not millennia. And basically, through the course of this experience, he started to develop like more spiritual side. And then he started studying these different religions, and he decided to tie them together through this book called The Perennial. Oh my God, there's so many. Tie them together through this book called The Perennial Philosophy, which is an extremely well written book and really teaches you a lot about religion. And the most interesting part of that book to me was I don't know if you call this a thesis, but this is the point that stuck out with me the most. The more physical the religious beliefs, the more reliant it was on a church, the more reliant it was on a structure and all sorts of these things, the more likely the religion or the belief system was to turn to like, you know, holy wars and other bad stuff along that lines. I don't know what I can and can't say. I have to look at the words I can use precisely, but I thought that was super fascinating. And when you look at it, it's really true. Like the people that have the largest churches are usually the people that are the ones that are like, you can't do this, you can't do that, where it kind of gets away from the true message. Am I religious? I mean, it depends what you mean religious. Not doctrinally. Like I don't think that if you do something that's against the book, then you're a bad person. I think you're so this is something Nietzsche said. Jesus was the last Christian. Or what he means by this is Jesus was the last person that lived like Christ. And I think if you live like Christ, that's a good way to live your life. And to me, you could be any faith, you could believe in anything and be a good person and act with forgiveness and live righteously. So if you do that, I'm fine with you. You know what I mean? That's really my belief. And I try to embody that as much as I can. That's really how I take things. Now you can make the argument that religious symbolism is the only way to get to this idea. And then the religious texts have some of the most deep and well-versed philosophical systems out of anything. But I mean, there's all these different interpretations and who's right, who's wrong. I think it's really just something you have to determine for yourself. And I mean, my biggest thing is if you're telling me who I have to be and how I have to be it, like that's not really what I think is the truth. I think it's really more of a personal path to finding yourself. Do I believe in Jesus Christ? I mean, yeah, probably not in the conventional way though. I mean, I teeter-totter back and forth between thinking it's a metaphorical overlay or an actual physical, you know what I mean? I don't know how to say this aside from like some days I'm more sold than others. I don't know if that made any sense at all. Sometimes I explain things and I'm like, after I say it, I'm like, oh, I don't know if that makes sense to anyone except me. 'Cause I feel like the way I tie together ideas doesn't always click. Is that cow attacking me? Oh, made wheat. That's what it was. I was so confused. What are you doing? Come on. This is so difficult. There we go. Come on. There we go. Trapped you. Only took me 5 minutes. Einstein believed Jesus existed. No, Einstein believed in Spinoza's God. Einstein was Jewish. That's why when I make a video, I make sure that I wrote the script in a way that makes sense. You script, dude, I don't know how to script videos. Everything I do is unscripted. And I think it adds a certain element, but maybe I should write like notes of things I want to bring up. Maybe that would be the best way for me to do it. Because everything, like, I feel like if I plan out what I'm going to say, it's not going to be as good. Because I just have like a natural ability to speak from the top of my head and not, like, I don't know what I'm going to say next. I don't know what I'm going to talk about next. Kind of just flows. So, and I don't think a lot of people, like, there's a lot of people that can't do that. So I might as well utilize the skills I have. Oh, okay. Maybe I'm wrong then. I just know that Einstein said if there's a God, it's Spinoza's God. And very roughly summarized, I summarized it earlier, but I'll say it again because I wasn't purposely talking about Spinoza. Spinoza's God is the idea that everything came from the same substance and everything was once something else, will soon be something else. And since we're all from the same substance, we're all expressions of that same substance. And, you know, it really starts the idea of this art thou, that everything is coming from something else. You just copy pasted it. No, it could be true. I just know. Again, I don't know that much about Einstein. I know like more than I feel like the average person would, but I'm not super well versed in it. It's not like if you start talking about like Jung or Emerson or like some of their ideas, I would know for sure. But even them, I don't know every quote. I feel like at a certain point of reading someone though, you can kind of understand what they would say about things. Like I can kind of guess the things Jung would say. I can kind of guess the thing. Why is there lava here? That's scary. Like I'd be able to, if you asked me, I'd be like, is what Jung would say. This would be his take on certain events, which I think is a fun exercise to go through. And I can tell you right now, Nietzsche would be hated, or he would hate the way that his ideas are interpreted today. He read the Gita too. I think all great minds read the Gita at one point. Jung read it, Emerson read it, Thoreau read it, Schopenhauer read it, Nietzsche read it, Tolstoy I think read it. Not sure if Dostoevsky. I mean, the thing about the greatest minds, they were well versed in the classic religious texts as well as classic literature. The amount of people that cite Faust as one of their main inspirations is just insane. Have you read Banjo? Have you read Khalil Gibran? That's my favorite. Khalil Gibran or William Blake. It's my favorite interpretation of the Bible. But I'm more drawn to mystics of any like than I am to the more traditional, conventional stuff. But I think the traditional, conventional thinking is usually boring to me, at least. Like even if I like don't necessarily agree, I want to be interested. Like you know what I mean? Like there's a there's a part of me that needs dopamine, and if I don't get it out of what I'm reading, I'm not going to be excited. There better be a cave up here. Damn it! Just these rose petals. Anything over here? There has to be something, right? Oh no, I don't see anything. That sucks. You can find a cave. Why so many wolves? How many bones though, so I can't tame them. It looks like there's something over here. Yeah, there is. Okay. Oh, there's a village too. Okay, I need to make sure I remember how to get here though. There's like, I wonder how long I've been streaming for. Hour 30. That's crazy. I haven't streamed this long in so long. I'm gonna be back in like 1 second. Oh, it's All right, I'm back. Should I keep playing Minecraft or should I go to the videos I queued up? It's up to you guys. I'm fine with whatever. It's also kind of fun to just like randomly rant. So I'm glad you're not trying to start a war here, man. Dude, it's always so weird whenever I'm just like in stream and there's a war in chat over religion. Like it's like I come on guys, can't we go 1 second without a holy war? Like we're getting along so well. I'm trying to think of the worst argument that sprung up in my chat. Okay. No, nobody that was in the argument was here, so I feel okay saying it. Yeah, no, that's respectful. I agree with that take. I think to me, Jesus is the most compelling symbol, like the most like I resonate with the most. It's not just that like that's what I grew up with. I feel like I would have kind of aligned similar even if I was different faith. But if you believe something, I'm not going to say you're a bad person because you don't believe in the same thing as me. Like I think that's a not only like a dumb take, but I think it's just like how are you going to ever win someone to your side that way? Like it's weird to me when I think it's that I think you have to do that many. It's weird to me when people are like trying to force other people to believe exactly what they believe and like shouldn't it be through example? And that's really what I think is the most like cringe thing. Like, if your God really is so great, why do you have to tell other people they have to believe it or else? Like, sounds like a little bit of projection to me, but who am I to say? Stealing these villagers' food. It's the greatest crime of the century, right? Do I have any torches left? No, I do not. Why is this guy just staring at the wall? What are you doing? He got all self-conscious when I made fun of him. Anything up here? Damn, I can't rob these guys. People have nothing for me to take. Oh, some coal. Sahita, don't be sad. No, I'm just joking. What if, like, Sahita, would you just leave? Like, what if I turn this into like us trying to convert? It just sparked like a vigorous debate where we just like, oh, I liked you until I found out that you missed the last couple of minutes. No, nothing happened. I went to the bathroom real quick. I take back everything good I said about you. You're dead to me. You left my stream for a second. How could you? It was like the Avatar when we needed him most, he vanished. Oh no. Okay, I'm fine. I got scared for a second. You had someone trying to convert you? Dude, my friend, so he's a Sikh and we're going to school in Indiana and like this like I think it was legit a cult. Like I don't even think it was like a like there was like people were like warning other people like this cult is like kidnapping people. Like it was some crazy shit. I don't know if it's true. This is the story that I told or I heard. Not that I told. It's like I just start slandering this random church because I just feel like it. But they were like, "Do you want to know about Jesus?" And he's wearing like his it's called a turban, right? He's wearing his turban and um he just points and he's like, "Does it look like I want to learn about Jesus?" And the guy was like, "Fair enough," and then just walked away. That's one of the funniest stories like a guy ever told me. Is there anything up here? Oh no, the zombies are gonna come. Ooh, what's over here? Wolves. More wolves. Here you go for a second. How could you? Oh no. Oh no, I got poisoned. What hit me? I'll never forgive you, Banjo. How could you leave my stream? Oh, that was scary. I almost just died. I don't think I've died yet, which is it's a miracle, honestly. Should I go to videos? Should I keep playing Minecraft? Oh no, I heard a wizard. Oh no, I'm sleeping. I guess I'm not sleeping. That thing is scaring me. Where are the monsters at? This is bullshit. Yeah, I wonder if I should do more streams like this because this is probably the only way I can stay online for this long. Like, I guess I've almost been going for 2 hours at this point. Oh, so what time is it? 6 o'clock. So all I have to do is make dinner at some point. So I might end this soon, depending on how long I've been going for. 140. I'll play a little bit longer, and then I'll try to stream again later if I can, or if I have the energy. So I might crash after this. Oh my, this is terrifying. Holy. Should I open the door? Hell no. Wizard almost killed me already. Do I have any other food? Guess I have some. I know it's gonna save me this wooden sword. There's so much bullshit in this. Bro, these monsters won't let me sleep. I'm not sponsored by these, but these are the best things ever. I hate how good they are because I don't like drinking energy drinks. I feel like they just wreck my energy. So ironic. Religious talks are always a bummer. Yeah, Sahida, how could you do that? Just ruin my chat. It's all your fault. I blame you for being. If you weren't here, it never would have went off the rails like that. I'm trying to think. Well, I was gonna tell the craziest thing. I don't even know how to say this without it sounding offensive. Like one time I was streaming and then the topic of course it was a religious topic came up. And I wasn't like going into it, but then someone in the chat like literally started a civil war and like everyone was like, you have to ban this guy right now, you have to ban this guy right now. I was just so annoyed that it ended the stream. It was just so dumb. No, if you really want to kill a conversation, just start talking about politics. But only talk about what you see on the news, and that's a surefire way to lose a friend. The hell? Oh, sticky keys. Just trying to troll this guy. No way. No way he just did that to me. That was actually so stupid. Don't worry, he poisoned himself. It's fine. That was intentional. I thought I was gonna be able to kill him. That did not work. That backfired so bad. Damn. That was so stupid. Did I get him? Nope, I did not get him either. That's the craziest part. Ah, when is it gonna be daytime? So I can leave. Dude, I was about to die. I tried to open the door and block his attack with a shield, and it just went right through it, and then he killed me. I really want to open this door and get him. What if I do this? This is gonna be like a 500 IQ play. I got him. He doesn't know where I am. Oh no, that was so dumb. Okay, I did not get him. That was literally the worst thing I could have done. How many? Oh my God. Fuck this. I'm gonna go kill him without anything. You're done. Where are you, idiot? Yeah, yeah. I got you. Goodbye. What the hell? Why did that look so weird? Why is he not dying? Yeah, that was really worth it. I got him. At what cost? Do you remember me telling you that I'm bad at this game? If that isn't proof, I don't know what else you need to see. But here we are. We got some glowstone dust from that. It was really worth it. And my inventory's full. Great. Time to go steal from these people. They weren't using it anyway. See, this is why I need a dog, so he could have attacked him. Oh, wait, I can get a dog now. Perfect. Perfect timing. Come here, doggy. Where'd you go? Get over here. You're gonna be my dog now. Bro, I just gave you a bone. Greedy bastard. You haven't liked me yet? That's crazy. I don't have other food to give you. You have the sand. What the hell's that? Baby cat? Well, the creeper blew up. Probably chasing me. Where's the blacksmith? Why is there just fenced in trees? Dumbass villagers. What are you looking at me with your eye patch? Alright. And you got one too, buddy. Here. It's gonna get fat. Ah. Yeah, my back hurts. I could have swore they were going over here. Maybe I missed it. Oh, did I rob this house? Yeah, I did. That was the house I kept dying in. Um, anything over here? No. What about up here? Damn, there's nothing up here. Oh, wait, there is. Oh, it just looks like a house, though. Oh, no, there's something. Okay, cool. Ooh, this looks scary. Oh, yep, definitely scary. I'm running. Oh, no, I have low health. Oh, time to run. Get him, dog. Yeah, good boy. Mm, come on. Oh no, there's a creeper. He's gonna kill my dog. Sit. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. The amount of creepers that have killed my dogs over the years. And oh no. Oh no. Skeleton. Oh, I saw the. Oh no. That's not good. Come on. Shoot him, shoot him, shoot him. There we go. Perfect. All part of my plan. There's literally nothing here. There's some coal. Okay. Here we go. Oh, iron. And is this going anywhere else? Probably does. Get this real quick. There we go. Honestly, I get more excited to find coal than I do to find diamonds. I already had torches. I don't know why I made more. The graphics of the game bother you? Honestly, I could see that, but I don't know if it's nostalgia or like there's just something about this game where it's like you can build stuff, you can mine stuff. I don't know, it's like a game you don't not that you don't really need to pay attention to, but like you kind of just play. It's not too serious, and you know when you get bored of one thing, you go do another thing. You know what I mean? Like I'll get bored of looking for stuff, and then I'll go build like a house. Like it's good in that regards. Is it the most popular game, or is it's like Call of Duty or something like that? Because like to me, I don't get like this game makes sense to me why people play it, but it doesn't make sense to me why people play like Call of Duty where like they're raging at the screen and then like they get all upset and then they keep playing like or like Fortnite where you like die unexpectedly. Maybe it's like the fact that it's the you get both ends of the spectrum. You get the happiness when you win and the sadness when you lose, and it's I don't know if I would say it's like the skill-based nature to it, but there's the idea that you get better and there's the idea that you're better than everyone else. Who knows? Mind-numbing stuff. You're talking about Call of Duty or this? I mean, in essence, every video game is mind-numbing. It's just like I don't think it's necessarily bad to play video games, but I think like if it is all you do, then you're not going to be very fulfilled. You're not going to be very happy. Because I mean, when it comes down to it, playing video games is like you trying to escape into the virtual world instead of take the responsibility that you're like, this is my life. I can build myself up like you build a video game character. So a certain element of like brushing off responsibility that comes with it. But again, you could also like make the argument that like it's the same thing as watching sports. Because like you hear a lot of adults that are like, "Oh, playing video games is so dumb," but then they'll sit down for 5 hours and watch a game and yell at the screen and buy the jersey of a player that probably wouldn't like them if they met them. You know what I mean? So I think it's all kind of copes and all kind of an effort to, I mean, escape. It's not necessarily bad. It's just when it becomes everything you do. This is lagging. Yeah, it is lagging pretty bad. You probably have to get a higher bit rate or something because it looks like I have to look how to do that. Oh my God, let me place. What are you doing? There's so many zombies. Go attack them. There's nothing in here. There's two sheep. You're back. How could you betray us like that? Just leave. Is there a path down here? There is, and I just went the longest way possible. It's a great feeling. All right, time to steal all these guys' wheat. It's the heist of the century. Oh no. It's like getting over it. You have to climb rocks and stuff. Never heard of it. Wait, is that the one with like the samurai or whatever? And like the stick? Is that the one I'm thinking about? I mean, I think nowadays everything gets on everyone's nerves, so get him. Yeah, what you gonna do now? There we go. Got him. All right, time to wake this guy up. Oh wait, there's no one in here. Come on, guy. Oh wow, there's a lot of potatoes in here. It's a guy with, yeah, okay, that's the one I was thinking about. I've never played it. I'm not good at games though, like as you can tell. Like I died like 5 times in a row. I don't think anyone was here, thankfully, but I tried to do something and then I completely messed it up and died repeatedly. All right, can I make this jump? Oh, it's gonna be very stupid to do. I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, okay, that's what I was thinking about. That is the type of game I would not be good at. I'm not even good at this game. All right, can you even be good at Minecraft? I guess you could, but it would probably be like whether you're good at building or whether you're good at everything else, maybe. Oh, well, the narrator, Bennett Foddy. I don't know who that is. Was the creator of the game? Oh, I wonder what happened here. Definitely wasn't me getting blown up by a creeper. Did I leave anything good here? You guys can keep the planks. I went to find a cave. I didn't even find one. I ended up with a dog, so we're happy. I claimed this island. Is it this way? Is it this way? That's this way. I can't remember where to go now. It's bad. My favorite genre aside from philosophy. Honestly, I feel like it depends on the day. I know that's not a good answer, but I like a lot of different things. And honestly, probably stuff that blurs the genres is the my favorite type of stuff to read. This the stuff that ties it all together. That kind of hits at different aspects of things. It's like a good example is like Dostoevsky is, a great storyteller. He's great at the character work, and he also has a deep philosophical message behind it. Um, Kafka is unlike fiction, unlike horror, unlike philosophy, but kind of blurs them all together. So when it kind of recaptures the multifaceted nature of human beings, I think that's the most interesting stuff. I don't know. Overall, it's just if it's a good story, I like it. I don't know if that's a cop out, but to me, like I don't, because like you could give me a work of philosophy and I can hate it. You know what I mean? Like if you give me a work of philosophy that was written in the past 20, 30 years, I'd be like, this is terrible. So I don't know. I don't know if it's so much the genres I'm interested in or the ideas, because I think the ideas are much more interesting than any one author could be. I feel like it's such a cop out though. I don't know. I'm weird when it comes to that kind of stuff though. And my interests are like very subject to sway because there'll be times where I'm obsessed with philosophy, but I haven't read a book of philosophy in probably 2 or 3 months now, even though that's a lot of what I talk about. because it's philosophy is so easy to talk about if you like kind of understand a few things about it because like genuinely a lot of the discussion today still hinges upon the Platonic ideal of forms versus the Aristotelian idea of forms. And this is even like a lot of what we see in media and the media coverage. It's just whose perspective is correct. And one side is usually going, well, this is exactly what's happening. So this is the solution we must do. And then the other side goes, well, to me, this isn't an issue because of this, this, and this. So it's like, I mean, I don't think we really expand upon these ideas. I think they're kind of just being repeated in real time. Hmm. Yeah, I feel like it's like a cop out, but why is this guy barking at me? Point behind the story is what sells it. I lean typically towards horror. I also enjoy Western sci-fi. One of the reasons. Yeah. Okay, I could see that. Yeah, McCarthy's awesome. I wish I picked him up sooner. Honestly, like I really hadn't heard like I've heard of him in passing because I've heard of Blood Meridian, but it wasn't like I was never like, oh, I need to pick up this book. I just heard about it a bunch of times. But it was always in like niche circles. It was never like, like the generic books you see recommended, the stuff that comes to you on Amazon or the stuff that you see on like at the bookstore, like the stuff at the front. So it's never like, oh, I need to pick this up right now. But I'm glad I did because it's definitely, I mean, Blood Meridian is definitely something special. I think that's my favorite work by his because I think it's the perfect balance of his style with, um, I really love Westerns, like the movies. So I think that one was particularly perfect for me to read first. I need a shovel. Where is this? My neck is killing me. What the? I already know the zombies are gonna come destroy this farm I'm building. Just leave it to them. It'd be annoying. Right, hopefully that starts growing. I'm starting to get hungry, so I'm gonna probably end the stream now. Um, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for having a fun stream. This was a good time. We'll have to do this again. Um, Definitely a lot easier to stream this way and talk about random shit versus the other type of stream. So yeah, that's it. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys. Peace out. I'll catch you in the next one.